I find that a lot of teachers spend a lot of time planning, but the planning time that they spend is on things that may not necessarily benefit the kids. So when I'm planning a lesson, I'm always thinking about the stuff that I'm doing. Is it going to benefit my kids? What are they going to get from it? I'm always triaging. If I've got 3 things that I want to plan for, I pick the one, and I can only get to one, I pick the one that I think is going to do the most benefit for the kids. So when you plan for your anchor tasks, spend the time developing those questions, developing the supports, Here's probably the most important part of planning for your anchor task. We've just done planning the introduction. You have to solve your anchor task. You have to solve it. Now, I don't know about you folks, but when I go to PDs and I look for problems, I can look at a problem and say, wow, that looks like a really cool problem, and take it and give it to my kids without solving it. What happens? Well, sometimes you don't know how to do the problem, and I'll be very honest with you, it's not just elementary school, it's middle school and high school. All math teachers get problems that are grade level that they just get stuck on. It happens. It's nothing to be ashamed of, but it's something that if you don't fix it before you give it to your kids, then you should be ashamed of it. So you need to make sure you can explain and solve that problem before you ever give it to a kid. What else do I do when I'm solving that problem? What else do you do when you solve a problem that you're going to give to your kids? What are you thinking about when you're doing that? Raise your hands and tell me. Yeah.
What's going to go wrong?
Excellent. You're anticipating problems. What challenges are my kids going to be faced with? Where are they going to get stuck? Not only that, I don't care about knowing where, because there's no point knowing where if you don't know, okay, well, what am I going to do? This comes back to giving away the farm again with anchor tasks. If you don't have a question ready for what you believe is going to be a very common problem, you might end up giving away the farm and ruining the problem for them. So, as I'm helping people through this problem, I say, I want to start with quarters. Do you know why? And you folks told me, yeah, it's the biggest coin, so you're going to get the most money, and that's what it's asking me for. Well, can I have 1? Can I have 2? Can I have 3? That doesn't give away the farm, right? So you want to have those questions or those explanations ready that if you get a little group of kids that is stuck, you can push them in the right direction. That's what solving your anchor test does for you as well. Anything else that you can come up with as a reason for why I solve my problems first? What else?
Maybe coming up with different ways they're going to solve it and how you're going to kind of build on that.
Took the words right out of my mouth twice because I was going to go to the second part of what you said next. Yes, you want to try and get as many solutions as possible so you know what the kids are going to say. So that when you talk about it, when you're refining your anchor task and they're learning, you can kind of say to them, well, can you do it this way as well? And maybe bring them back to the problem. Any others? So it's nice to know how many solutions there are to a problem to the best of your ability. I mean, you may miss a couple and the kids will tell you, and that happens a lot. Also, you want to make sure that you can extend a task. So for instance, for that, maybe I could have taken away dimes, for instance. That's the first thing I would do. Let me take away a quarter. Let me take away quarters. How much could I have? Just some additional questions that it can be the same level of difficulty, but just a little bit more interesting. Okay, well now if I say he's only got quarters, nickels, and dimes in his pocket, what's the most he can have? And then they're right back to work on that without sitting there twiddling their thumbs and driving you crazy. So you have to have those extensions ready too and I always develop them when I'm solving the anchor task.